once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I hit the go live just a few minutes early, so sincerely to all of you who've already popped in, offered your greetings and your welcoming. Blessings to all of you. Sincerely, it sounds like we've got a treat in store for us. It sounds like maybe the Panelverse president may be stopping through soon. Holy cows, get excited, because here we are again. And admittedly, this story of Jack, I am so grateful that some of you, many of you, tune in regularly too. It just, it helps. Because this morning, again, I was a little bit in my head and I was kind of unmotivated, but I thought, there's folks out there who, they appreciate a little encouragement, a little positivity in their day. So that's who I'm here for. Holy cows. And as I started getting those steps, right? You start taking a step towards a goal, even if you don't want to get started, like going to the gym. Some days it's tough to get started, but once you get in there, man, you get motivated and you start feeling good about things. And so I got a little excited, wondering what today might bring. I am grateful to all of you, anyone who may tune in the here and now or later. Praise God. Praise God and blessings to you all. Today, the idea on the topic, sacrifice or selfishness. Oh man, I forgot to get that going. I forgot. My thumbnail thing. This quote and the idea on the quote. Things everyone needs to come to terms with from others. No response is a response. And if they wanted to, they would. Not everyone has the same heart as you. These are lessons we've all got to come to terms with, right? And if you think about it, the process of ideas, first, there's complete ignorance where you don't know. Then you might get an idea. You find out about something, and then acceptance is the first step towards understanding. Accepting that people didn't respond, accepting that people were not there, right? Acceptance is the first step towards understanding, and understanding brings us closer to the peace of knowing. So what I've learned and what I want to share for you to know, it's pretty simple and obvious. Know that people are on their own paths. Just like you, right? Not everyone feels the same way as you, and that's okay. Be at peace with the world that you get to know. Be at peace with what your life is bringing, and then stay loyal to your love of the truth. We all have a love for the truth. I think it's built into us, this yearning to know, the desire to know. That's why children are so questioning. They're honest and they're authentic. It's the adults, man. It's the adults. They start pretending they know things, and then they get into arguments, and these arguments turn into battles, and then we got a bunch of selfish craziness all throughout the world. So this original idea of the topic today, sacrifice or selfishness. Originally, the idea was sacrifice. I invite you, whoever you are, sacrifice your thoughts away so that you can receive. you can pay attention. In order to pay attention, we must sacrifice our thoughts. Otherwise, we lose focus on what the world is showing, what the universe is revealing. So sacrifice your thoughts to pay attention, not just here and now, but as you go through your day, especially with others, especially if you claim to care about them. Shut your mind off and pay attention. Listen to what they're saying. It's so easy to get into these routines where we feel comfortable. We think we know what's in our partner's head or what's in a friend's head. Hell, people think they know what's in the mind of a stranger. How foolish. We know so little. But you know what? Part of this Jack Talcott experience and part of this channel, I know it's not me. It's partly me because I'm responsible for what happens here, but I know a big part of why people tune in. It's for the others who who may show up. To pay attention, you must afford it. I don't know about that. I think we can't afford not to pay attention. The old adage, ignorance is bliss, has been used as an excuse for people not to pay attention. And when people don't pay attention, they end up all sorts of crazy stuff. But hey, I am excited. It is a new day, and I welcome the opportunity. Welcome back, Illumitami.
Might have to leave and come back because some of your stuff was buffering, and it could be me, but I don't know if it was your channel or me. I'm waiting for the chat to say.
Could be. Holy cows!
Let me go clear my. For anyone with problems, I'm gonna go clear my caches and restart my phone. I'll be back.
All right. Respect.
But I want to talk about a lot of yesterday. If you don't have an agenda today. And I think yesterday was more valuable to me because I didn't watch it till this morning after Steven came and ball washed me all night. But that's how Steven doesn't have the effects on me that he has on both the audience and you.
All right.
But Jack, whenever you talk about this misrepresent you and drag you through the thing, that was you guys last night.
Okay.
I'm just out here to represent the Christian stance and my stance. Faggots like this will follow me around and show my events out of context, and it's his hell to burn in. But I'm coming back for you, Jack, not this nobody that is even more hated.
Pretend I'm not even here.
Yeah. No, that's easy, except you run your fucking mouth until someone's going to take your kneecaps.
Fair enough.
And this is a good learning experience, Jack. This is what him and Paul's type do. They go out and start fires and then say, look at these people like spraying me with water. Why are these people always spraying me with water? Because you're out starting fires.
I've seen
silly. It's basic.
Tom, you're a fire whether or not anybody is starting anything.
Oh, are you jealous because your boyfriend showed up and started propsing me as if it's even right? Like I've always been this adult. I didn't grow up. You guys have just lifted your narrative. As you see, I'm not going to leave you any direction.
Yeah,
oh, you're over talking, of course. Yeah. I'll be back.
Okay, bye.
Holy cow.
I would say we should impeach him, but that would be too much dignity to the office.
I think it's almost more work than it's worth. Let him have the title. How are you doing today? What's going on with you?
Same shit, new day. Just had some Taco Bell. Saw you got live. I was actually thinking like, hey, I'll get in here before the shit show arrives, and then I got in here like right as the shit show arrived.
Yes, I saw it, and in my perspective, I'm like, oh crap! Now what do I do? Because I don't know where you two are, and with Tommy, man, he's a wild card.
I don't think anybody ever knows where they're at with him, right? Isn't that kind of the nature of Tom?
A little bit. He's He's predictably unpredictable.
And as much as he still he's threatened me more times than anybody I've ever known in my life. But for some reason I have trouble like disliking the guy for any duration. You're sort of similar. I have trouble disliking you for a long time.
I believe that. And it's probably similar reasons.
I don't know. You guys have different presentations.
As I was saying that, there's a lot of difference between the two of us, but you know, he does have a good heart. And I think that's why you're willing. I think that's why you're willing to overlook a lot.
Well, he's sincere about what a piece of shit he is.
And what a piece of shit he thinks others are too. He's sincere.
Right.
He's sincere in his judgment and condemnation. That's the key. And I want him to realize that. And I think it's going to happen. I really do. I really do. Potter, what's going to happen?
You glitched out for a second there.
We're going to see miracles. I think we're going to see miraculous transformations. We're going to see some personality adjustments. It's my
if
prayer.
If they adjust or don't adjust, I'm good either way. I try to appreciate people as they are, not as I think they should be.
Yeah, but as they are, they make it very difficult to appreciate them.
Well, I don't appreciate everybody for sure. Like I heard Snafu's in custody. I don't have any confirmation. This is just,
wow.
We can only hope so, right? Like that's somebody I got no appreciation for.
He's another friggin'
Did you just eat ecstasy?
No, it's my my nicotine stuff.
That was ecstasy. I saw it.
No. Yeah, I hadn't heard of Snafu. I don't know what's going on there, but
it's not verified. I can't confirm it. It's what I heard. Sure. I did do a little search of his name and the state he's in. I didn't see anything, but
well, he was just in the hospital for a series of procedures. He's
everybody's blowing up right now.
What do you mean?
Venus, can you confirm or deny what I just said I'd heard?
Wow.
I never claimed to be the local moral authority. I just don't like the dude. I'm not in a morality contest with anybody.
No, right. He's an interesting one. Hey, welcome back, Tommy.
You talking about me?
We were.
No. No.
Jack, I told you. If you need a place to stay, Jack, I've got a spot in Flow State's head. I got a spot in King Stephen's head. I got a spot in Rose's head. I got all kinds of real estate you can camp up in if you need a place, Jack.
I got you. I appreciate you sharing it. We were actually discussing, I don't know, potential unconfirmed rumors of Snafu. Did you hear
with Snafu Access? This is one thing I can tell you as Lure Master Panelverse President. With both Snafu and Axis, it'll be revealed when it gets revealed. It's why I scolded Cynthia for calling the Denver police just because I chose not to show up for 2 weeks. And
you baited that.
I didn't bait nothing.
I mean, I wouldn't have done it. Obviously, I didn't do it, but you know, under those circumstances, you were definitely kind of asking for something like that to happen.
Well, no, like under those circumstances, I was trying to show these people how panelverse they are, because I get why people speculated over my battery dying and sweat. even with Axis, as people were on panel saying, well, these people want to act like we're friends. We're not really friends. I hope Axis isn't dead. But it is what it is, and I'm not the one that needs to be calling his local authorities or anything.
Well, I mean, if you're witnessing something, then I feel like you could make an easy case for that you have a responsibility to, ethically. But
in Axis's case, I'll give you, even though I think a lot of that was staged as I rewatched it.
I do too.
I'll give you that because I feel like it was mostly a jab at Cage because they were fighting. But for me to just stop showing up, that's different. And when Cynthia keeps saying I faked my own death, no, it writes itself. I woke up to the speculation, and that was also back in a time when they said Tom can't resist panels, Tom can't lead panels. So part of the speculation was watch me be gone for 2 weeks because they added to that weight. They're creating it. I'm just the conductor of the things.
Yeah, Rat Blood's situation was different from yours. I'll agree there. There was reason to think that something bad was happening to Rat Blood. There wasn't necessarily one for you.
Well, he has been up to scheming before. Me and Zetetic Warrior are the ones he's DDoS struck our routers. But as a guy that's watched people try and off themselves, that might have been real blood, but it was hardly as much as it would be. And way too fast, he started like, oh, Cage, I'm feeling lightheaded. It's like he went out too fast. And I'm not sure what he tried to say he drank. But he got very theatrical, and I get it. It's Cage, and he
baited Cage into that situation.
Well, no, I think they were already baited. Like Cage claims that Axis had already claimed to put curses on his mom or something. I don't know. I've watched him burn a Bible, and I also say I don't even expect a Satanist to be in a good head right now. He lost his fucking son, and if he did die, if his daughter's still in Denver, I'll track her down and I'll offer up whatever I can offer.
I reviewed it last night. I think that it was fake, and the ambulance was really called, and he's probably on a psych hold after that stunt somewhere. That's my theory.
And the biggest thing is both cameras, he has Rat Cage camera and his, they shut down at separate times. There wasn't any sound of people like yelling in for him or looking for him. Seemed like he just slowly shut his stuff down after he let Cage and Steven sit there for a while.
All right.
But I still say it's possible. Anything is possible.
Zero as well. And Dennis there. Welcome to you.
Greetings.
Salute.
Is that Dennis?
Hello, everybody.
Greetings. So Tommy, should we jump into the religious and philosophical discussions?
We can, but let me comment on last night because I'm a little fresh on it, even though some surprise events have grabbed me with the Outdoorsman that it's on hold for a moment, but I have to get to it today. When I watched that this morning, I do appreciate Denizen and Sean. I think Sean is a very good, honest Inquisition aspect, and I think there's a part of him that's very Christianable, but you guys with both me and Christianity we're right back to the misrepresentation, and the only issue I have with it is so many points are the things I've been looping and screaming. Like Christians do not worship the cross. We don't make an idol out of the cross. I'd have to go back and rewatch. I probably will watch it and make that one a review.
Okay, but Tommy, your disagreements don't override what the appearance is. And that cross, I know it was just a minor part, but
that appearance is your perception, man. And I'm telling you that I'm not speaking for all Christians like you sit and try and speak for groups of people. I'm saying if anyone wants to this ethos that I follow to the best of my ability, and I'm fallible, if anybody wants to know how that is, I'm more than happy to tell you. Because rednecks don't worship Trump. They just love freedom.
please, one topic at a time. Let's have a conversation, not just a lecture. Please.
Well, I hope Sean comes up. I'll give you one thing, Jack. You know what I'm jealous of? You know what I'm jealous of you on, Jack? There's a lot of people trying to pick jealous out here. I'm jealous that you get all the pushback I seek. You get a lot of civil pushback up here. And that's how I'm treating you the way I want treated. I'm respectfully pushing back on you. And if whether you and your audience want to call it attacks, that's fine. I wish Sean would show up and throw this stuff on me. Denizen showed up last night too, even though I was ending. It was nice to see Denizen show up. Nice not to hear him long.
Well, maybe if you mod got it less, you'd get more pushback.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's why you're retarded. I keep throwing in Jack and Hank's face every time they've come up. They don't get modded at all. So
That's
narrative
not
harder like your daddy.
That's not accurate.
The record shows any modding I do is to regain order.
Well, that's what everybody would say about their modding.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's what everybody would say, but luckily there's receipts sitting there online.
Right. You do exactly what everybody else does when they're mod godding. You want to yell, and then if anybody tries to respond, you dunk.
When's the last time you watched my channel?
When you tried to shoot me.
Oh, so you're gonna pose the narrative. Now you're snafuing. Snafu also believes I can shoot him through a camera.
Yeah,
I've always told you how to avoid being shot.
It was a joke.
See,
Don't get stuck on
Golly,
the
jeez.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Jack. I know you don't do this over here. Sometimes I post up panels where, to avoid this confusion, we set a mark that today we're not going to play games and get sarcastic and do jokes. You want to talk about real shit. Flow State likes to determine when we're talking real shit and when we gravitate to random quips.
Well, it's a collaborative effort. So if you don't want to do that, then maybe you should try to specify what you want out of this conversation.
If I'm
fair, Snafu would try to claim it's the truth. That's how he is.
If I'm coming up here to discuss my faith and the religion and the things that were said last night, it's one of those. And I think that's why you're happy to be up here and start doing your thing.
Well, here, welcome back, Andy. Good to see you as well.
Hey, how's it going?
Feeling good. I don't know if you've met Tommy or not, but he's
yeah, not formally.
He likes chicks with dicks, but he's not in a joking mood today.
See, that's not Charles.
It's not what?
That's not Charles.
No.
He's got the same microphone thing as Charles, and I thought it was Charles.
He mentioned Charles, but Charles didn't join. It was Andy and Sean that were here yesterday.
I'm still glad we cleared that up, because if it was Charles, I was going to say, Charles, why are you up here saying I'm wrong about my religious things and then not coming to me with that? But it's not Charles, so it's okay. Oh, Andy's the one that was comparing the Homer stuff. Okay, I get it. Yeah. But Andy, the one thing I saw also in your Homer thing is a lot like Random Fan with his Philip K. Dick comparisons. Can we not have events and stories that are all like a guy got shot holding up a bank in a story, and then can a man never be shot holding up a bank again? Or do we just say, nah, it's all a copy of the first time a guy did it?
Well,
no, you make a good point, actually. I brought that up, actually, before I became convinced of these parallels. Well, not just parallels, this mimesis that seems to be happening. And I think that, yeah, it's totally possible for things to repeat themselves, especially when their cultures were so similar. But I just think that there are too many parallels in sequence for it to be a coincidence.
Also,
I don't think it's... here we go.
Well, I mean, in this case, I already know what you're talking about. And in the cases, like, say, a virgin birth, what you're saying is there's only one incident ever. All the rest are fantasies, right?
No, I'm saying the things that he compares, like, I agree. Hercules had 12 followers. these things get repeated, but in the faith, I understand if you were the God of this world and you wanted people to doubt and confuse the truth, would you put a totally opposite story all over the place, or would you have various similar stories to make people doubt the real one?
So
yeah, that's actually that's interesting, but it makes me wonder, like, what are the differences for them?
There's just ever increasing archaeological and historical evidence to the Bible, regardless of one's faith.
Like
I'm
what?
with you. A lot of the Bible happened. In fact, I'm even on the fringe position that the Exodus happened.
Well, you're the type of people I like to talk to, especially without Flow State or Mod God Jack, but we can do it here.
I just think that the dating of the Exodus was probably not accurate, but it definitely seems to have happened on some,
Well,
the water
extent.
The water parting stuff?
The most important part is, well, actually, let me not divert it. The Exodus, you're talking about the Jews leaving Egypt? Because I understood there's not evidence of that.
Yeah. Well, let me specify. I want to be more specific, I guess. When I say I think that the Exodus happened, I think that the proto-Israelites were indeed enslaved by the Egyptians. I don't think that any of the, the miracles, or I should say the plagues that happened to the, you know what I mean, or Moses talking to the Pharaoh, or the Red
Sea parting.
I don't think any of that happened.
All right, it's funny
Yeah,
you say
I doubt that happened.
Even non-religious scientists have found that each of those plagues, and this would help with people's atheism, I guess, but scientists have found that each of those plagues happened, and with good reason, because the locust plague is what brought on the frog plague, and maybe they said the firstborn son was just a disease or something, but as far as the Red Sea parting, and it's funny what you guys talk about. Huh?
I was just saying, yeah, you make a good point, and I wouldn't throw it out. But just to add to what you're saying, sort of to give credence to what you're saying, if the Israelites did escape, or the Hebrews, I guess you could say, did escape from the Egyptians, and there were those plagues, the Bronze Age collapse, which happened right around 1200, seems to have happened to because of a bunch of different things, which included famine, disease, what they call earthquake storms, all kinds of crazy ecological and environmental conditions caused the Bronze Age collapse primarily. And a lot of these plagues that were referenced in the Exodus story could indeed have been brought on by that sort of thing.
And if we can acknowledge it like that, that's fine. But I guess I don't have to establish. I'm still going to stand on the belief. But there is more proof I'm going to get to. I agree with you. What I've said is fascinating. The one that blows my mind is in this time of Egypt with the movement of the Israelites. Huh?
Look how furrowed Jack's brow is.
I'll let you finish this, but I've been sitting here patiently. This is not the Illuminati show, okay?
But you seek truth. You seek information.
Right, and you're talking about things from the past that you can't prove, you didn't experience, you just heard about, you believe. And what I'm talking about actually is
it's funny that you guys talk about stuff that
what I'm suggesting is let's take the meanings from the past and let's bring them into practice and do something for the future.
Jack, the thing I appreciate you and King Stephen and Flow State is, as long as I let you crucify me, you're just showing everybody who you are.
Tom, I never crucify you.
I've been showing myself.
Yeah, you've been a mod god. Yeah, you've been a mod god, Flow State, and you've even acknowledged how mad I was about it.
You put a $330 bond on me.
Because
I'm gonna make some coffee. I'm listening.
I know. What are you, a white knight?
No, I'm judging you on the caliber that you judge.
You're not qualified to judge me.
I'm qualified to keep you off my panel until you pay $330. When I say that, I know you're not going to pay.
You think it's unfair that I manage my panel, with people that
No.
are behaving, acting out the way that I want to. So what is your point then?
You're telling me what I'm thinking.
You're copying what I do, and you're trying to act like it's a moral high ground.
No, I'm trying to act like it's just a funny way to say, may I retort? I'm trying to act like it's a funny, ironic way to say that shot I fired off was the exclamation point on I'm done with you, except for when you follow me to places like this.
If you were looking at your phone, you'd see that Jack is furrowed.
I am looking at my phone.
No.
Jack's not controlling his panel. He's letting you stomp all over it. Trying to talk to Andy.
High five.
Dude, you weren't helping.
Me?
You were instigating it. I was trying to get control, and then you jump right in to get him deflected again. You're an agent of chaos, both of you. Please.
You were right until you added both of us.
You're both behaving the same, arguing and moving over. Tom.
Well, you're showing you don't see everything, brother.
Well, how about this? My perspective as well. I'm sitting here again being, in my view, being disrespected. You clearly have no care to support me or what I'm doing. I don't feel that either of you.
Jack, I could review how Flow State and King Steven just play you like a fiddle. I'm being straight with you.
I'm being straight as well.
No, you're gay.
Tell you what, look at the facts. Arguing with...
What triggers you?
Arguing...
Now, may I get back to Aaron? If you've got Flow State under control, may I get back to... Is it Andy? I am looking at my screen. I can't read it very well. Jack, you wouldn't think a truth superior person like you would be so easily triggered over talking about truth.
I find it hard to believe that you disrespect me so much. Not just me. You're so generous with disrespect.
You're disrespect.
And you don't see anything wrong with it. Tommy, you and others get mod-godded because you lack self-control. You lack respect for others. I don't know what to do. I mean, guys, I'm genuine. My purpose is not just to create a spot for people to hang out and argue. I'm really hoping to do something with my life.
You've really got a skill at having people hang out and argue.
I know.
Why are you wasting the talents God gave you?
Because
I kind of agree with that.
It doesn't accomplish anything. It's day after day.
What are you talking about?
It may. If you could make peace on this panel, it might be the first step to peace in Congress.
I realize that, and that's why I've tried day after day. But I can't do this on my own.
Sure you can.
Oh, I can? Why don't you explain what I'm missing then?
Well, what you're missing is you assume to know exactly what the courses your life should take, but I don't view my life that way, and I think it's probably a mistake to think that you're in charge of your destiny.
No, you answered a question that's totally unrelated to what we were discussing. We were discussing the way that I'm trying to find peace with other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot achieve peace with those who don't want peace with me.
Like who?
Now on my... Huh?
Like who?
Well, like Tommy. Tommy?
I think there's hope. There's hope for Tommy, I think. I really do. I saw a little glimpse of somebody that's willing to engage in a polite way and listen.
He can. But so far, guys, this is my real life. Okay. When I started the online, I mentioned, hey, there's something going on in my life. So I'm online trying to find answers and create connections. And what I've said is odd is there's been patterns of people accusing me of things that I've not done. I've been falsely accused. I've been misrepresented, right? All the gossip and all this. The online stuff, it supports everything I'm saying, okay? And what I'm saying about the greater world, about the wars and the economic exploitation, this is all real.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I personally just enjoy your company. I'm not here to attack you or even oppose you in any way, really. Even if you don't want to talk about the Bible and just want to talk about, politics or, morality or anything, I don't care. It doesn't have to be about God.
You're right. People enjoy hanging out with me. And I think that's what Denizen and Dusty were saying. All right. So how do I use this?
Your likability?
Yeah.
I don't know, but like it seems like it's working. It's kind of working for you because no matter how much of an asshole you are and how mad you get at us every day, everybody still keeps coming back here and have for years. So,
yeah, but
that glass is half full.
It's there's been enjoyable moments. I mean, there's been times of fun, but this has been more challenging than rewarding, and I'm certainly not reaping many rewards.
Well, I guess that glass is also half empty.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve, Jack?
Thank you, Chuck, for the super chat and for being a member for 4 months.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Chuck is a huge supporter.
Chuck is a big supporter. He sent me a short earlier today that we think is your brother.
Oh, no.
I swear, the dude's even talking about the Bible. Are you interested to see it?
Please.
Okay, hold on. I gotta.
And you know what? Tell you what, since it is a group here, what are your thoughts with Tommy? He's still in the back, but it seems when he comes in, he takes over and puts everyone to the back.
I think Tom is being relatively well behaved today. I'm enjoying him, but if it's not worth it if you're gonna just like rage quit. So I think that you should make that decision.
Same.
Thank you.
Tom's being chill today. He's actually
He
conversing.
is.
Jack liked the comment that said, "I'll come up today if we can discuss yesterday," and you got a problem with it. And Jack, I have the answers for what you do with your panel. I've just shown it as the panelverse president. I did a stream last night that was laid back, anything goes, drop your bag of bricks. And then the content was watching JG not be able to grasp that. Now recently, when Paul came up and said, I've changed and grown up, no, he's just finally lifting his narrative. I've always been this.
Holy shit. Sorry, Tom. Let's jump.
Yeah, you were listening.
Someone recently was telling me they're having trouble with converting because they were taught about the Immaculate Conception. Now, the Immaculate Conception is a heresy. It's a heresy built upon another heresy, which is the idea that human beings are born guilty of sin. So the Roman Catholics, the Latins, didn't like the idea of the Theotokos, who was holy, to be guilty of sin when she was born. So they came up with the Immaculate Conception, a recent doctrine, actually. Now, why is it so terrible? For one thing, it doesn't come out of the mind of the church. And for another thing, if the Theotokos was not a human being like you and I, then Jesus Christ became human from a person who's not fully human, who's different than we are. And so he did not assume all of our humanity, as Hebrews makes clear, and therefore he didn't save all of us. So it's a very important doctrine to understand why it is false. Someone recently was telling me they're having trouble with converting because...
You
how's that?
You still believe that?
It's
not really. It's false.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's your brother, man. Ollie
See the psychological games here.
No way.
Like
that wasn't him. Oh my god.
That was
any
oh
other
my god, dude.
No, that was some other dude that Chuck found earlier.
Any other host who just line all the cameras up across the top, but Jack needs to feel like he's kept me on the bottom. It doesn't bother me. It's very telling, though.
Seems.
I like when King Stephen. I like when King Stephen challenged you yesterday on suffering, because that disavows all his crying about storms and hurricanes and all the babies that die and things.
Holy
Nobody
cow.
wants to die.
Tommy,
Wait, see, so dismissive.
No
I swear
offense,
you're Hindu.
I'm
I
being
swear you're
honest.
Hindu.
You're calling out for a hug. You need a hug and some comfort.
That's gaslighting. That's manipulation. The same way you say I'm damaged and need a hug, you're telling your audience you're concerned for me. I'm fine.
No, I'm not. It's not so much concern. I guess it is, but
no, you want to project that I am damaged and not to be taken seriously. This is what your daddy taught you.
I want you to feel more at peace, and then we have a lot more time.
You are triggered by the words coming out of my mouth, and they're just truth.
Jack, calm down. Stop being so triggered, Jack.
Right?
But we all know that's the worst way to calm someone down, is to say calm down. Also, saying "holy cow" is the worst way to go. I'm fine, Jack. And anytime you're ready to tell the details of why you see me damaged and broken, and as many people you call that are waiting for, go ahead and let me know.
Will you listen?
You better be valid. Jack, when I tell you to do that, I know that you have no grounds for it. That's what we're doing here.
Joe, are you out of time? Out of time? I just saw old Joe make a comment that he's out of time. He doesn't really barge in when Tommy.
He's always got 15 minutes. Right. I don't have a lot of
time.
Nope, I got to go do some yard work here. I was just
yard work.
You betcha, brand new lawn, man. Anybody have any lawn care?
I see how important we are to you. I thought you had something a schedule to keep.
Well, yard maintenance is fun. Plus, I got to get
it
in. Anybody know the best?
He's Hank Hilling us. He's Hank Hilling us.
That's right. Okay, good to talk to you guys. See you later.
Right. Hey, Tommy.
Works fun.
Tommy, do you have a channel that I could add you on or subscribe to? I mean,
Station 33 out of Luma, Tommy. This isn't a channel that's popular for sharing mine, even though they share everything that's mentioned except mine. It's a game.
Station 33.
Yeah, but it's at Illuma Tommy if you go by the address.
Oh, okay. I want to discuss the Homer stuff with you, but I don't really want to argue on Jack.
The homo stuff?
Yeah, you can't handle it. Yeah, you're right. I'll meet you over there one day. And the thing that Jack does that triggers me that a lot of viewers don't understand, they act like there's audacity of our communication. I've known this dude for 3 years. We got history, and he loves for new people to not understand and let them think I'm an asshole.
No, Tommy. I want everyone to make up their own minds, but I really want people to be honest. And you made
I also tell the truth.
You assume you know me, but you've been
Keep playing that. You're out here saying no one understands you. But I don't want to get into it because they're going to kick me.
Tommy, it's just like God. You claim you know God, and you do not.
I do.
No,
I do.
You are confused, and
I wouldn't be the guy saying that when he means God.
You misrepresent Jesus and the messages he brought.
Jesus ate baby lamb.
One of us is wrong.
There was 5 loaves and 2 fishes because Jesus didn't be wrong.
I was going to say.
He's doing it, Jack. You don't care if King Stephen or Flow State gets in on it. But you won't let me tell you
Sorry,
the truth.
Jack. I apologize for getting in the middle of Tommy talking constantly.
Thank you.
I'm here on a purpose. I don't have to be here if you don't want to do the conversation.
Your purpose is not anyone else's purpose.
Right. You're self-serving.
No,
You're
I can help Jack with everything except ending wars and getting his family back and his job back.
No.
You
Those
don't
are kind
want
of
to be
his
Flow
purposes,
State.
aren't
You're
they?
an asshole. You're just
right.
a game plan marketing asshole.
Tommy.
Back him up. I'll be the OTW.
I'm losing patience.
Does that mean are you going to start
with
crying?
You back him up until the relativity is he's the one you're impatient
I
with.
wouldn't want to be the OTW if I
Yeah.
No, I never want to be there. I'm saying relative to when Flow State and OTW were up here, Jack backed the one he currently liked the most. It wasn't about truth.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, OTW has got
I'm cryptic like that.
woman's shelter every time he's going to get Flo. By the way, Flo, did you see the shitty music video he made today?
Yeah.
They're all shitty. They're all Jack, before you kick me for the day, just acknowledge. I said I'd come up over this, and now you don't want to do it. So just tell me to get the fuck out of here.
Tommy, you're not staying on topic. You tell the story however you want.
I thought the topic was me coming up to talk about this stuff.
And you haven't been. You've been bitching and complaining and talking about everything.
You made it about me.
You've got excuses for everything, Tommy.
So when I say that God ate, or Jesus ate fishes and lamb, I'm referring to yesterday. I came up to talk about yesterday. So how am I off topic?
Nobody cares what you came to talk about, Tom.
Right.
Thank you, Paul. Nobody cares about my channel. Nobody cares what I came to talk about. What else you got?
Tom, what I care about is how you behave, because how you behave affects my ability to coordinate and lead this stream.
You're disruptive.
Me and Flow State are enemies, and he said I'm chill as fuck.
You're being fairly chill. You won't shut the fuck up for anybody else. So
I'm talking about the topic.
No, Tom, I've been trying to address your behavior, and you keep deflecting the conversation.
The behavior point out is the deflection, Jack.
The behavior that is interruptive, self-centered, and selfish.
The only reason I'm taking a little talk time is I would be the only one to object to yesterday's things. Everybody else here is going to sit quietly.
Not everything requires an objection, Tommy. And you're not a Bible expert. Okay? This conversation he brought up regarding the bread and the fish. Well, even that I have wonders and doubts on, because I heard other scholars, the guy who did Christspiracy, he pointed out that one of the translations for fish is also like jelly. So it would be like a jelly that the peasants would grow, and they'd eat it with bread. So it may not have even been fish that he ate. I don't know.
The jelly you're referring to is actually a byproduct of making that stanky ass fish, like Worcestershire sauce you're talking about. That they made
fish jelly?
That's not what I was.
But that's what you're referring to.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I can try and dig up the
you're gonna have to. I forget. Let me actually look up the name of what it's called, because I am a failed Bible scholar. I dropped out of seminary school. So,
hey,
wow.
Yeah, my grandmama when I got my GED out of Job Corps.
Were you running from your gayness, your homosexuality? Were you like?
No, I was rejecting evangelicism. I found that it was evil and a prosperity doctrine, and I didn't have the money to pay for it myself, and I didn't feel like going to a monastery.
Thank you, Lauren. I can see the similarities. Nevertheless, Tommy is orders of magnitude better than Imperius.
I've seen that face, but I haven't crossed paths with Imperius yet. Well, so okay, so you were a biblical scholar.
A little bit.
Well, for me, the biggest thing is people have been arguing for so long, but what is the meaning? What is the message that we're supposed to receive from it? You know,
the point of arguing is to refine your message, I think, or your perspectives.
Exactly. That's a very Protestant take as well.
I would also argue that
I'm saying you're right.
I'm not a Protestant. I'm not anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of why Protestants allow laymen to interpret the Bible instead of harkening back to, say, Orthodoxy or the
right.
The I forget the word, the canon that is both agreed upon in the Church of Nicaea.
Right.
Yeah. To be fair, though, that's just their interpretation of it. Just like they're relying on a modern interpretation. It's no different. They're still separated.
Well, the reason that the Nicene canon is beneficial to Christians, there's a side to both, right? It goes in the whole argument of 1 Timothy 2:12. Women shall not hold authority over men, and should remain silent in the churches. The reason for it, so I'm using this as an example. The reason that you don't want women to hold authority in the churches, look at modern women. Look at how they interpret the Bible. They always bring some pseudo cultist type of mentality with it. They always bring some conspiracy type stuff.
You don't think that Christianity is inherently cultish from the ground up?
Every ideological thing would be inherently cultish.
It's a death cult.
It's literally.
I would say evangelicism with the emphasis on the rapture is a death cult. But Christianity in a whole is not a death cult.
You could say it's a cult of human sacrifice
and cannibalism.
That if you stretch enough, yeah.
Sure you don't have to stretch it at all. You don't have to stretch it at all. The Eucharist is talking about eating his flesh and blood.
It's actually right there on the face. You have to stretch to ignore it, but we've just all been programmed to not notice that.
And eating the flesh and blood, by the way, is, and this is just my opinion, I don't want to irritate Tommy if he's listening. But
well, the flesh and the blood eating, the reason I say you have to stretch is it's a very easy metaphor to understand. It's as in becoming one with God, the Eucharist. But I digress.
How is that?
What is the belief when you consume?
Do I become one with a cow when I eat it?
Yeah.
Take it away, Jack.
No, you do. You do. You become one with it. But it's not literally.
I consume it. I don't become one with it. I
you literally consume the nutrients in it, and you become.
What did the Buddhist say to the hot dog vendor?
Yummy.
Make me one with everything.
Nice. And that's true. That's true.
So the religions have distorted a lot. I mean, it was a problem even at the time of Jesus. Distortions in the teachings and misunderstandings in the meanings. And the idea of argument, there is a benefit. It can be wise to argue, but the fools will argue for fun. And that's kind of what today's society has developed into, is a bunch of fools arguing for fun.
But people have always argued for fun, Mr. Talcott.
Well,
one of the funnest things to do as a human, as an intelligent human, is to match wills. That's the whole reason I even argue with Dusty.
Right. I consider a lot of this, it's intellectual masturbation. Get in a group and masturbate your minds together, but really accomplishing.
Let's get freaky then.
Circle jerk.
Yeah, bukkake.
I think that I engage in these conversations because I genuinely care about the truth. I think that
the truth is subjective.
Word.
Yeah, I agree. Truth is subjective, but I guess when I say truth, I want to say that I want to know what's most likely from like a reasonable standpoint.
then you'll be manipulated and lied to your entire life.
Why would you believe that? Is that the path you're on?
If you want to know truth, meditate and look within yourself. The Asians are the closest to actually finding enlightenment and truth. If you want to know the truth,
I mean, historical truth. Historical truth.
There is no historical truth. History, by and large, doesn't matter.
Well,
Empires grow and fall. Humans do not learn the lessons.
It's mostly made up and by the people who win.
Exactly.
Well, it is.
I'd
like to disagree because the lessons are learned from the past, and those who don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat. And I've been claiming I feel quite blessed to have learned what I've learned. And what I've learned, it's spiritual teachings. It's the path of enlightenment we all can achieve, and we all want to.
Mr. Talcott, can I ask you a question?
Please.
What is your would you agree with the statement that all is permitted, nothing is forbidden?
That could be true.
Okay. I'll have some more for you.
What are you trying
Are you implying that everything is permissible in atheism or something?
Oh no, I'm keeping track of something.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I will reveal it at a later date. It came to me in a dream.
Well, I've often heard, or the old adage from Aleister Crowley, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. I believe that is what God has offered. God has offered us life and free will, and we can pursue any ideas that we capture. It's up to us. So what I've chosen to believe is, yes, I can do anything I want in this life. And what I want is to live like Christ. I want to bring peace to the world.
Too late. You're dead. He was dead long before your age.
Wait,
what? I died in this lifetime.
I don't know.
Flo, could you argue that life is nothing but a death cult or a race to the death?
I mean, you could take that perspective. I would say it's not a race. I don't think there's any race to it. I would say that it is inevitable. It is inevitable that it ends that way. So
life is an STD.
But typically people spend their time trying to avoid and delay death, not revel in it and imagery of it and partake in ritual of it.
Why is that?
Why what?
Why is that? Why do people try to delay death instead of embracing the inevitable?
Because life is dope.
Because life is dope, and because as far as we can objectively tell, that's just the end.
Then why did you say there's got to be a God?
I don't remember saying that, Tom.
Okay,
Yeah,
why do you think Hank said it, and why did he use that atheist channel as proof of God? Because now Jack's using atheists and Aleister Crowley's quotes to back Christianity,
damn it, you just screwed up. You've mentioned it, and you screwed up my fucking thing. This also came to me in a dream. They told me there would be a great deceiver.
Deja vu?
Yeah.
Are you having deja vu? Deja vu was not a dream. Deja vu is when your brain gets so overloaded it takes the incoming information and thinks it's remembering it. It's fascinating. And so when I experienced it, I realized what got me to spread my brain too thin and why it's getting overloaded.
What happens when I've lived this moment before in a dream?
You're an ortho, bro. You haven't lived this moment. You live one life. You know that.
I'm not an ortho, bro.
Wait.
If I was an ortho, bro, it would be spelled correctly.
Are you the guy that came to me about the lore?
Yes, I'm trying to create lore.
You all confuse me. But you're also the guy I talked to about Bible shit on TML, right?
I don't even know who TML is.
The Machine Lies?
No, then I'm confused. The voice.
No, you're not. He doesn't know who TML is. That is the. Yeah, I don't know.
Machine
when are
line?
the lore masters going to square off and have a fight to the death?
That's not what lore is about. Lore works against you, though, because you're a liar.
Well, I know which
I'm
lore
gonna be
master
real.
I think is going to win.
I'm gonna be real. He has given me some great lore. If y'all,
So you're not the guy I talked to about, like, the Bible study shit?
no.
You sound exactly like him.
Didn't see Hank. Welcome, Hank.
But no, I'm going to go meditate some more and have some more dreams that reveal information.
Astral
So,
projecting,
Tom,
are we?
Oh my
you
God!
had
I
a
just
question-
noticed your name says single mother enjoyer.
You had a question for Hank. My thing, you
Indeed.
asked it to Hank.
That is who
You
I'm
had to
thinking of.
say.
Single mother
You gotta
enjoyer,
say
that's who
for
I
me.
think you are.
Sweet, Hank is on an airplane.
He's risking everyone
I'm at the
to come
mall.
up and try and do a thing.
I'm
You
at the
should just
mall.
drop Hank and Tommy before you get all rage quitty.
See, I can tell by his backstage chat he's already out of touch, like the freak.
Tom, you returned and the entire conversation got derailed.
No, it wasn't much of a thing when I came back.
Well, here the whole topic today: sacrifice or selfishness. We can be selfish, or we can be strong and be willing to make sacrifices. And it all comes down to conscious choices. But if people aren't conscious, if they're not paying attention, then they're not going to see the choices that are available to them.
Right.
This is
like, could you imagine if while you were driving you could share comments on a screen? You'd think you're paying attention.
I've been given another vision. How many of you are smokers? You.
January
So,
31st was I quit 4 years ago.
Well, you should start again. You know, have you ever had to deal with a lighter thief?
Yeah.
It's an accident. It's not always on purpose. I accidentally pocket them.
Well, there
It's
has
just a
been
reflex.
revealed to me an 11th commandment.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's lighter.
So thou who steals thou who steals a lighter shall be punishable by death.
Now, do you think, and the Ten Commandments are the only part of the Bible that God wrote with his own hand? Does that sound like a do what thou wilt? Or does the opposite spectrum of Christianity sound like the do what thou wilt?
Does the fact that he wrote it with his own hand matter?
I think that's epically badass. Because when dude goes up in a mountain and leaves all the Israelites down there waiting, they know he didn't walk up with any rock tablets or Dremel tools. He came down with 2 tablets with rules on them. That had to have been crazy to see unfold.
What if he went up the mountain with the tablets?
And Jack, on that note, the thing about why people didn't own copies of the Bible and had to hear it is parchment and scrolls were that rare. It was a new thing. So if anybody owned the written word, no matter it was the Bible or anything, you were expected to just read it aloud in public so everybody could get some. It wasn't a matter of
Tom, learn to shut up, please.
Correct. And he'll be
tell you what,
pissed.
before I toss you out of here, what is your purpose? What do you want to achieve while you're here? Thank you. He wants to be a part. He wants to fit in, and he wants to be a part. I would assume.
He has no idea how to do it. It's like he was a homeschool kid who lived in a bubble.
Well, that's what I see, honestly. He just hasn't learned how to.
This is how you don't lose fighters.
There's no reason to be so aggressive and confrontational if you have an opposition to someone's belief. It can be done peacefully. It reminds me actually of a phrase that my grandmother used to say to me my whole life. I must have heard it 1,000 times from her. It was one of the most popular things she said. You'll catch more flies with honey than you will with vinegar. So it's like, if you want people to understand what you're thinking or even see your side, I think it's a bare minimum that you talk to people with respect and you treat them with kindness, and you even keep an open mind to the fact that you might be wrong, no matter how convinced you are.
Did you know through divine revelation we have another extension to that saying? You kill more flies with force than with traffic.
What was that?
You kill more flies with force, i.e. a fly swatter, than trapping with honey or vinegar.
That lesson of communication, it's a lesson I've learned the hard way, and I'm still working on improving, because it's true. If the messages aren't delivered right, you know, in a way that someone will accept them, you're just wasting your time. But this is part of what I'm trying to share online, some of these practices. When people are full of themselves, right? Like our friend Tommy, he's headstrong and convinced he knows, and not just he knows, but he knows Jack is wrong. He's full of himself, so he's not able to receive. He's an example. There's many people who are full of themselves and they're not willing to receive what the day is showing.
Sounds kind of ominous.
I'm saying it like that because it's true. Every day, every moment is revealing a new part of our life. And it's the ego mind, the habit of getting trapped in the thoughts. The mind will come in convinced and maybe enraged, right? Because it remembers battles, it remembers argument, it remembers pain. So the mind comes in all guarded and closed, and it's not receiving what is real. I've been facing this for a long time in many different varieties. You know, it's true in life. The patterns will repeat. We'll have the same relationships over and over in different bodies until we learn the lessons. And so you've seen what I've attracted. I got to figure out what the hell's wrong with me, man.
Have you ever practiced?
Oh God, you got rid of Tom and then you brought up Cage. What the fuck is wrong with you? This is why. This is why you get what you get, Jack. I don't feel sorry for you. You deserve this.
I heard someone mention my name through the grapevine.
No one mentions your name.
Literally
You're
nobody
unimportant.
Oh yeah, you did.
Negative.
Pull it up.
It did not happen.
Yeah, it did. So now I'm here. What do you want? You want to talk to me?
Calm down,
let's
calm
fix the
down,
rig,
worshippers of Thelma. This is what you get with
This
do with
is
it
real
do with as
life.
you will.
Hey, we were talking earlier about how history is kind of lies. Dude, this is real life. These people are real people.
Barely.
I
This is
wouldn't
what
call them
God gave us.
people.
What's that?
History is like
I
a
wouldn't
it's a
call them
blend it's a
people.
blend of lies and truth.
Humans typically dehumanize for a reason, and they're the perfect argument.
Humans typically dehumanize? Is that what you said?
Yes, and they're the perfect argument for why we do it.
Dehumanize others.
Gotcha. I've said this. This is part of my theory. Some of the lessons I can see in the world. People have lost faith. There's a lot of people who have lost faith and they're confused in their faith in God, and it's because of what people have done. People blame people for what people blame God for what people have done.
Bullshit.
And that includes ourselves.
God's either responsible for everything, and because it has power over everything, or he doesn't. He doesn't get to pick and choose. People, for some reason, want to give credit for all the good shit to God, and then take responsibility on them for all the bad shit. It doesn't work that way. That's bad math.
It says in the Bible that we are supposed to give credit to God for all the good and the bad. By the way, check
Yeah.
Discord, Dusty.
What?
God also,
Check
just to
your
add to
Discord
that.
messages.
Oh, sorry. Just to add to what you guys were saying, Isaiah 45:7, I believe it is. God actually takes responsibility for the evil and says that he creates all good and all evil.
So I know how it sounds illogical, Dusty, but I've actually come to this conclusion. To me, God is beyond any definition. So I find God through goodness. So all goodness is an aspect from God. So any goodness that comes through me, it's by God's grace. That means I got Jack out of the way and God's goodness could come through. And
that assumes Jack is bad?
Well, look at the results. The results of my life has shown Jack is bad. I keep screwing things up.
Well,
why?
Who created you? I mean, like I'm saying, God either is responsible for everything because he has power over everything, or he's not. So if you have bad results, you can say it's Jack, but only if Jack is in charge of everything. If you think God is in charge of everything, then God is also in charge of your life, and you're not powerless. But that self-deprecating external locus of control mindset drives me nuts with people.
No, I see
God
both
also
things.
gave us free will, Dustin. So I ask again, Jack, why? Why is your life shit? What are you doing?
I've been unworthy in the eyes of others. Had that not been true,
But are you
I'd
not
have
worthy in
found
the eyes of the
support.
Lord?
Well, this is where I'm suggesting. I'm perfectly comfortable with where I am and the results I have. I'm one with God. I have
Is that not
no
the issue,
fear.
though, that you're comfortable, that you haven't embraced the...
Hey, don't misinterpret my words just to make an argument, because then you'll misunderstand what I'm saying.
So you're not, you're not talking fast. I'm thinking slow.
I think you're underestimating my words and not considering. I'm choosing my words to be accurate and truthful, trying to explain the experience and the faith that I found. But to me, it's true. God is. I get to experience God's isness, present moments of every single day. So I give all credit to God. God creates the day. God offers forth everything around me and within me. So it is God who's doing everything. And I get to choose. I'm the observer and the chooser and the narrator within me. So the story I tell myself throughout the day is, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for being with me. Guide me so that I can change the results. I mean, that's...
But are you changing the results, or are you comfortable in your situation?
Ask that again.
I said, are you changing the results, or have you found comfort in your situation?
What do you think based on what I said?
I think that you found comfort, and thus you're not changing. You're not embracing the struggle that God puts before you. So you learn tests and you learn how to stand independent and strong.
I think you're assuming quite a bit. And
well, my brother in Christ, you said you were comfortable. Are you not comfortable?
I'm comfortable with God. Now, you wanted to come to some conclusion that I'm not working to change. Do you know I just left my home, the hometown? I'm now outside of Washington, D.C., with the intention and the purpose of trying to create change, not just for me, but through the world. This is my real life. I'm committed to the idea of finding a way. Let's end wars.
Are you trying to do both at the same time, or are you working on yourself first?
It's a yes and. That's what I learned about life. It's not so much an either or. It's a yes and. You help yourself and you help others.
Well, it come to me in a dream and many months of meditation that one cannot help others if they are not in a position of greatness themselves. You'll drag yourself and others down.
Are you
If
sure
you're not
that?
able to stand up on your own, you're not able to help others.
Well, certainly. In some cases, that could be true, but I've witnessed many people using that same logic as an excuse not to help someone.
Right.
And they're really not helping themselves. They're just telling themselves that they are. Oh, I can't help them until I help myself. Well, the problems don't go away until we face the problems and we change things. So I've been working on me, Orthodox guy, and my whole purpose is trying to help others. So far, I haven't met people who actually want to change their life. They seem pretty comfortable.
Well,
I'm not.
Seems to me also, Jack, that they don't seem to recognize your accomplishments and your successes when it comes to overcoming alcoholism. So you are a champion, and you do have that position to help others change for the better in their lives. Seemingly everybody tends to forget that and poke and prod and take shots from the sidelines.
I didn't know. That's why I'm asking questions. I'm trying to learn about Mr. Talcott.
Well, you don't seem to want to learn. You more or less want to, kind of like denigrate
I'm
and
sorry,
troll.
I don't.
Yeah, I see you trolling, buddy. Too bad Jack hasn't recognized that yet, but fuck, man.
OTW, thank you. I don't feel he's. I don't feel he's poor intention.
Oh, I love when you troll me, man.
Yeah, I know, because it's funny and it's the highlight of your show.
So there's
perfect.
Okay, there's more there. I didn't.
I know. I troll. I do troll Talcott. I do troll OTW.
I got you.
He loses in every verbal battle that I've seen him in. He's like, "Nah, I won," and I'm like, "Bro, that's admirable." Just taking the punches and being like, "I won." That's beautiful.
Hey,
it's not how you fall; it's how you get back up.
I mean, yeah, man. But you know what? If you fall 1,000 times,
I'll keep falling and falling, but I'll still keep fucking getting back up. So it doesn't matter to me.
Look, man.
What you laugh at, he who laughs, last loudest.
He who laughs first will laugh last as well.
Tell you what,
I got that.
Let me jump in
Bravo
here.
Bravo for
please.
making that up. Go ahead, Jack.
OTW, please, because it's actually one of the things I have noticed and admired about you, OTW. Your ability to take a punch, so to say, right? Take the attacks and the harassment, and you continue on pretty well. I've admired that about you. An Orthodox guy, just be aware, as confident as you are or as you may be in the failures of another and wanting to publicly poke and prod others, you're revealing your character.
Oh, I'm evil. I'm evil. I'm a sinner. Lord,
Is that something you're proud of?
I fall short to the glory of God. Jesus.
Why?
I'm a sinner.
Why? Are you not smart enough to learn how to live righteously?
Apparently not.
No man can live righteously. We fall short to the glory of God every day.
Those who fail to try fail to achieve. So what I'm suggesting to you is
hold on,
maybe
Mr. Talcott. I will respect that from you, but not from the likes of OTW, because he attempts.
It's okay. You can stay lukewarm, man.
He attempts.
God hates lukewarm.
He attempts.
It's either you're cold or you're hot, man.
He claims he attempts, to be better and above it, but he loses and then he strikes back instead of.
It's okay. I'm good with losing. I can accept losing. You can still say that. I love losing because it just makes me stronger, man. It just makes me better.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I don't know, man. If you're lifting 2 pounds one day and then you lifting 1.5 because you got your ass beat, that's just wild.
Hey, Orthodox.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to point out, was Job, or I'm sorry, I just said Job, was fucking Job, was he not righteous?
I mean, I don't think Job is the victory that Christians want to claim it is, because Job literally was a bargaining chip between God and Satan.
Well, no, I mean, all victory aside, he's still righteous. It is possible.
You got to understand there are better examples in the Bible to pull through. I believe it's David. David was met with hardship and found victory at every turn. Job literally lost everything. And while God did return his material possessions, you cannot replace the family that he lost and the people that he loved. That God willingly allowed Satan to destroy as a bargaining chip, as a gamble, as a bet that Job would not turn against him.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't arguing against that. My point was that it is possible for a man to be righteous.
There you go. And Noah? Wasn't Noah righteous in the eyes of God as well?
Yep. I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, so Orthodox guy, I think that's...
They fell short to the glory of God, thus they were not righteous. Even
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ as well. Jesus
Christ was not a man, he was divine.
Hey, what you're doing...
He was a son of God. Abraham was a son of God. David was a son of God. Solomon was a son of God. He was one of many sons of God.
Jesus was the son of God.
Orthodox.
Yeah, he was one of many of them.
No. He was the son of God. He was God made flesh.
What are you proving? Seriously, I'm getting frustrated.
You shouldn't get frustrated.
He's proving that if he had brains for dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow his nose with.
Well, it's just the patterns of arguing. I mean, it's just you're bringing forth the religious doctrine, this belief that the Christians want to enable each other. It's a coping mechanism. Oh yeah, no one is glorious, no one is good. You be a sinner just like I'm a sinner, and we'll just make excuses for each other.
You wish to create heaven on earth.
I wish for others to discover God's kingdom, which is here and now, so that we might walk together with love in the manner that Christ Jesus showed us.
But that's not what Christ told us. The kingdom of heaven is in the future. It is distant. It is a goal.
Hello. No, you're mistaken. You're completely wrong. Because I've experienced it, my friend. I'm not talking about a fucking book. I'm talking about real life. These words are true. Okay? It's not that complicated to be at peace. And those who commit themselves truly claim to believe Jesus should walk his way with faith, with forgiveness, with grace, compassion, with love.
I'm not arguing against that.
Well, his words even say,
but that's not the kingdom of God in here and now.
You become sinless like him and be one with the Father, and you don't imagine you can know heaven? You're not thinking.
You cannot be a living man and be sinless. That is not righteousness and sinlessness is not the same.
Says you. In the eyes of God, we are made with an innocence and a purity when we repent and admit. When we turn, we are forgiven. Now, those who have been forgiven, they're no longer under judgment. And when no longer under judgment, what sins are to be found? You can become righteous and true by submitting to what is real. What is real is God. And then celebrate the life you live and be with peace, good nature, walk with the Holy Spirit, offering forth the fruits. That's the message, dude.
Are you saying that repent once and you are forgiven of all sin? Even the stuff you do after you repent?
No, repent and stop sinning.
Repent and sin no more. Yes, I know.
Yes. And if we believe we're just a sinner, then guess what? We stop trying. We stop trying to overcome this. Well, that's just how I am. No bullshit.
If you're weak-minded and don't know the faith, yes. But you accept that you are not perfect. You accept that you have issues and you seek to overcome the challenge.
And through my honest seeking to know God, seeking to be one with God, I trust, should God allow it, I may become perfected through my
Well, I'm going to listen. I'm going to be quiet and listen for a little bit longer, and then I'll ask questions if I have any more. If that is all right with you.
I appreciate it. And you know what? I don't mean to get feisty. I really don't. This is passionate for me, though, because my mind has been blown by what I've learned. And these ideas of God and life, I now have a peace in my heart, a feeling. I feel so alive. I feel pleasure through my body. I've tried, I've discussed this. People don't seem to care how I feel, good or bad, but I mean, there's nights where the pleasure in my body keeps me awake. I'm restless because I feel so fucking good. And I'm the man who's hated by his son and, you know, avoided by his neighbors. And I'm too dangerous to go to work at the postal service, right? So I found a peace in my heart, and it's beyond what the world ever offered.
Well, I'm not attempting to be an asshole here, but it seems like if you're having these problems,
no, you're succeeding actually.
You're a crybaby and a woman in a battered woman's shelter. I'll be quiet and let Flo handle you in a minute. Flo, get your bitch in line. Anyway, Mr. Talcott,
get in line, OTW.
If you have these issues with friends and family and jobs, perhaps that is some anger or some sin you have built up that you have not yet atoned for or done right by.
Right.
And I don't know what these issues are. I haven't come around.
Tell you what, I've been experiencing this a long time. I came to those conclusions myself. You're right. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I made mistakes in my past. I yelled at people who love me, who I love, and when they couldn't understand me. And I didn't know the power of God. I thought there was something wrong, right? They were lying. There was a problem. I was betrayed by everyone. But I haven't been yelling at people. I mean, I still have this reputation, I guess, and I think this is why God's got me online, to get my anger under control. But
could I say something?
Please.
I just wanted to say, all religion and God aside and stuff, if you are having trouble in your life, you know, with family or with, you said you've kicked alcoholism, which is awesome. Most people don't. And, you know, a job or whatever it is. I myself, and I'm no fucking genius or anything, but I think that the best way to solve that problem, and don't stop your prayer, don't stop your connection with God, but I'm saying that the best way to solve problems of any sort is to just, this sounds so primitive, but just
ignore
get out
them.
a piece of, ignore them until they go away. Now, get out a piece of paper and just, you know, write out what you think is the best possible plan of action that you could take, and separate it into easy, achievable steps, and just achieve one of those steps at a time until you ultimately reach the goal in the end. That's something, because I'm a person that suffers, not that this is your issue, but I'm a person that suffers from motivation and things like that. And I find that writing out my goals like that and achieving it in small steps is a great way to push myself to do things that I normally wouldn't have the motivation to do.
It's a great tip. I do that.
That's awesome.
But when it comes to real life, we're not in this world alone, and we really are at the mercy of others. My life has shown me that, and I'm not I'm not trying to present a victim story by any stretch, because I'm truly blessed by the changes in my life. I discovered and learned things I wouldn't have had my family and job continued the way they have. But I have a theory, guys, and if this turns out to be true, it's a possibility for sure. Here, this live without fear. If this is a message for our world at this time, it was inspired from the Bible. And my life, I actually think my life has I picked up and learned a lot of lessons through my life from myself and others. And one of the most important lessons, I believe, will show, if this is real, I've said it before, Jesus was the example of the one, how one can change the world. And it has changed the world. And I think the time now, in this new time and this shift, God will be showing us, and will show history, what can happen when people join together righteously. Like the whole world joining together. Hey, welcome 007, 10th man.
Jack, how you doing?
What's up, Jack? Hope you're doing good.
Blessings. Coming in to 007.
10th man is very well known, by the way.
I am very well known, yeah.
I've seen 10th man. I don't remember if you've been here or not, but I've admired your ability to
certainly
communicate.
have twice before.
That's what I thought. This actually, I agree. Jack does need to recruit more females. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, so is Flow State, an Orthodox guy.
Oh, you literally just repurposed the joke. Oh.
Failing
he didn't even repurpose it. He just literally copied it.
I know you are, but when am I?
So, Jack,
this is a guy who prides himself on being creative.
What happens when you let AI write all your material?
Yeah, I'm going to turn you up just a little bit, 007.
I'm on a different desk because I'm using the other desk for work. Jack, I've been over the last couple of months, man. I've seen you on flows and stuff. I've never come over to your channel and listened to you. But, I started off really. I wasn't too fond of you, but then when you came over to flows and I was on a panel with you, some of the things you were saying, there's
crackle.
There's some of your story, right? That is my mic bad, is it?
Yeah, it's all crackles. Yeah,
it's crackly. Like we can hear you, but it's kind of poppy for.
Yeah, it is.
Story.
Is it better now?
But I think it was.
Might be. Please continue.
Because it's too much. Anyway,
so it got worse. It got worse.
It got worse.
OTW.
Jeez.
Cam up and open your mouth.
Your story just reminds me of mine a little bit. Like,
is that invitation for everyone, or for everyone, or
just OTW? Just OTW. If you want to do a human centipede thing,
that's feeding back. I'm just joking around while he fixes his mic. It was feeding back there. I don't know what's going on. Try talking, 00. We'll let you know if it's good.
Right, you hear me now?
Oh, yeah. No, it is.
It's all right now, yeah?
I hope so.
Yeah? Right.
Please.
So, basically, long story short, back in 2000, I had a car accident. My girlfriend was killed, pregnant with my kid, and I looked for God. Like, after I got out of hospital, while I was facing prison, I was searching for God. And I was searching for life until 2015. And in 2015, I started studying with it's 2016. Sorry, I started studying with Jehovah's Witnesses, not to become a Jehovah's Witness, just because I felt like God had put me in that direction, right? But I knew He didn't want me to become a Jehovah's Witness. The long and short of it, mate, is that I got it quite clear from God to sort of not worry too much about Scripture, not worry too much about what religion's been promoting and pushing out there, controlling everybody's perception of what the fuck's going on, right? Just focus on yourself, be as honorable and as fucking honest as you can, help people when you can, but look after yourself and don't, because we've got to, all of us, we've got to sort ourselves out. Once we sort ourselves out, we can help other people. That's why I'm not
sorry.
trying to help anybody yet. That's why I'm still not trying to help anybody yet, because I still got work to do.
Story, and you're crackling. I just want to point out. I guess OTW deep-throated Flo so much his balls got stuck in his throat.
Hey, that was cute. Say it again when you matter.
Aww.
Can we figure out what in the fuck? If those aren't my nuts in your throat that you put up after I teabagged you, what in the fuck are those?
I'm gonna
those are Tip Man's balls.
That's me actually not being afraid of ridiculousness.
So yes, those are my nuts in your throat.
Probably all the balls of the guys that Flo had his wife sleep with while she was a fugitive from the law. It was all the men that were banging Flo's wife while putting her up at her house while she was a fugitive from the law. That's what it was.
Micro penis Imperius is undefeated. I dominate everybody.
Well, I mean, I would rather have a micro
Here comes Imperius
than a wife with a Trax in her arms, dude.
This is a personality that only a micro penis can produce.
Hey, don't drop Imperius. I always wanted to meet the Walmart version of me. Send him back up.
He's Walmart Tommy.
I'm your god, sir.
What's up, loser?
I'm your god, sir. And Jack, I would like for you to know as a Christian.
Stop projecting, Death Man.
Why are you
scared to address me?
Imperius, 10th man is talking to you. Be respectful.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Shut up, Flow State. Like what you say matters.
I'm not listening to him. He's a nigger. I have something to say about Flo.
What matters? See, the reason why people listen to me and Dusty is because we have talent and people.
No, you
like
guys,
us.
we shouldn't listen to these guys. Listen to Imperius.
Can you let Imperius handle his own? You're handling mine.
Oh, why? You have two ball washers up here handling you. Why shouldn't I help Imperius? Yeah.
You put my balls in your throat.
It's okay. I like them there. They're nice and cozy.
Is it funny that I have more fans than you do of channel subscribers?
Wait a minute. That is not an own that you think it is.
It is because I make more as a hobby than he does at his job because he's a felon. He can't get a job anyway.
Nobody's paying attention to you, Imperius. Literally nobody cares, Imperius.
Actually, everyone cares, really. I like to hear what he has to say.
I know you would, because you just said that my nuts were cozy in your throat.
That's why Orthodox is a fucking pussy, just like Flo is. You're a bunch of fucking pussies. Everyone cares about me. The fucking world is about me, you dumb pussies. Hi, Jack. How are you, my friend? Yeah, Jack, I just wanted to know, I mean, as a Christian, you did read what Christ said what should happen to people who preyed upon children, right? Who damaged children. They should have a millstone put around their neck and thrown into the sea. Flo sells drugs to kids. Flo, I have texts as I showed Orthodox guys, I'll send it to you now, in chats, is saying I can hook up people with drugs. I can hook people with cocaine. So if you think that's the kind of person you want up there on your show, you know, spreading a positive message or saying that he has any epistemology to state what is right or wrong, you know, again, a guy who, committed a felony, drug dealing, and then
hey, Imperius.
Yeah,
I've been patient. It seems your point you're trying to get across is to diminish and disparage me because you don't like my choice. Why are you interrupting me?
What I'm saying to you is,
why are you interrupting me?
Because the people you have on your panel should be put up against the wall and shot.
It sounds like maybe you are in that category as well.
The
Because
difference.
False witnesses and blasphemers, people running around trying to convict people. I bet money you don't have actual experience of your claims and charges. You're just a little gossiping bitch wanting to go diminish other people online. And I don't find that to be very respectful.
Dickhead than you'll have entire your life.
Thanks for stopping by, Imperius. It's nice to meet you.
I just want to reply to the allegations of being a bitch that while he did send me some type of message, it was not Flo actually doing anything. And I replied to him since he called me a bitch with my real address and invited him to have a good old bat of fisticuffs since he's so wealthy.
Hey, Dusty, I hate you so much. I'm going to spend all my time thinking about you.
I know. He's one of my most devoted fans. Thank you, Imperius, for the watch hours, the attention, and the real estate.
He watches you more than I do.
I want to point out
to say the same thing about you
when he said when he said about me selling drugs to kids. You, Jack, and you, Orthodox guy, had exactly the same response to him. The bearing false witness response.
Because he has no proofs, and like you said, kids don't have money. And if you're selling the type of drugs you're selling, they can't afford them.
Kids don't have money. Drugs aren't cheap, and
they might be able to get a nick sack of weed every Tuesday.
He never gave a shit until I kicked him off my panel. He's so butthurt to be ostracized. Where did little OT Nutthroat go?
He's probably going to go host a stream where Imperius can bear false witness on.
I can't believe Imperius was trying to interrupt the fact that OTW actually responded to being teabagged by putting up a picture of him with nuts in his throat. That's wild.
I missed it. I'm going to have to go back and see.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to clip the fuck out of that. Like,
I'm sure you will.
I want you to understand, I sent Imperius my real address to him calling me a bitch and a coward and fight me. This man did not reciprocate. He just sent me a picture of a gym shirt, like a Muay Thai gym shirt with his hand over something. I'm guessing it's his name. And I'm like,
what? Like he took karate classes?
He's like, I break people. And I'm like, if you only knew what I've done to people.
Do you know how many karate kids I've seen get knocked the fuck out the first time they've gotten
all of them?
If Imperius actually meets my challenge, I'm going to record me knocking his bitch ass out. And you'll see another one.
And I'll make it into shorts.
Because I'm going to promise you, in order for me to lose to somebody like that, he will have to beat me to death.
When I was a teenager, I had dabbled in a few martial arts. And then when I was attacked by 5 people at the same time, it failed terribly. And then I went and learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Because, yeah.
People are nuts. This YouTube, these open panels, holy cows. What's the drug inside our brain? The dopamine? Is that the one?
Yeah.
That this feeds?
Correct.
Yep, a bunch of drug addicts. People are addicted on their own supply.
William Josephs, thank you for being a member for 1 month, said the best part is that he doesn't know that he is a lol cow.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you something, Jack. As a man who's almost as old as you, I think. I'm almost 50. I don't know how old you are. Who's done terrible things and also done a lot of good things. Probably a lot more good than bad. The dopamine that you get from doing something good lasts pretty much for a lifetime. The stuff that you're getting from this nonsense, it's very short-lived, and you keep going back for more to hurt people. But when you help people and you know in your being that you've done good, that's for life.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's in line with this topic today, right? The selfish people come out and they troll others. They want to get that little rush of having a victory over a stranger online. That selfishness is insane. But if we're willing to sacrifice our time, our energy, sharing our talents and our abilities, if we're willing to help another human, those memories get carried with us. And those are important. What is that?
That's just proof of the messages. If you just share that for a split second.
Oh.
When I sent my address, that's what he replied back with.
Stop it.
He replied back with that?
Yes.
That
wait. Does that say capoeira?
And it literally
does that say capoeira?
And the message under it is "I break people."
It says Cordiero. Muay Thai, U.S. fight team, Muay Thai.
Huh.
Okay.
Did you
what
get
a larper?
Were you frightened when you received that?
No, I literally sent.
I'm frightened.
I literally sent the.
Now that I know this about Imperius, I apologize. Like, I don't know what we were thinking, Jack. I can't believe you called him a bitch just now. I'm glad it wasn't me that called him a bitch.
I didn't even think of that. Holy cows, I did.
I'm gonna be honest. I still like Imperius. I see him as a brother in Christ. I still
He's
consider
not
him a friend,
that.
but no,
Okay. What part of where do you see in Christ in him?
I used to see it a lot, but ever since you kicked him off of your panel, I think he's lost his faith.
He has lost his faith, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's become less and less Christian, I think, ever since you guys kicked him off your panel, to be completely honest.
All these homeless, lost, loser-ass souls showing off their black belts and
there's a reason
Imperius and OTW, somebody else will take you in. Somewhere else there'll be another big brother, father figure, somebody whose nuts you can truly throw out that appreciates you. OTW should go back to Paul, I've decided.
I feel like Imperius is having a mental breakdown since getting kicked off UNCT's panel, to be honest.
Don't you wish you were rich, like really rich, Flo, so you could fund the fractards to keep them going and have them like good big shows so they could show their fractardedness and then you could capitalize on it? Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, they do it for free and I capitalize on it. I feel like I do. Am I missing some?
No, I'm being facetious, sir.
Hey, the thought that came to my mind, I'm genuine serious about this. Why are we attracting people like that?
Why are we attracting people who have main character syndrome when we're the main character?
Right. That makes no sense. Why would I attract competition?
Because there can be only one. It's a Highlander situation. We're all the main character, and there can only be one.
Dude, I love those
that's
movies.
Funny and everything, but that's not what it is.
We're all narcissists competing with who can be the biggest narcissist streamer.
No, I wish it was all that stuff. But what it actually is, and just I could get into it, but I don't like grandstanding. In my experience,
Bulls, don't you lie to me, Timothy. Don't you fucking lie to me.
No, look at every story and every religious text and every movie about someone being possessed. These people are channeling dark forces. Usually I have my witch thing on here. I took it off out of respect for Jack because it's probably not something he's down with. But when you know what darkness is, you can see it real easy.
I just feel like people like Imperius are brats that need to be broken, but I'm not gay, so maybe you should come out of retirement, 10th man.
No, they're channeling evil.
Have you ever dealt with a brat? Same difference.
Yeah, but that's just a tantruming child that is confused and angry. These people are making a lot of them. Did you not guys? Anybody here catch anything that happened on CTs the other day? Because I think Flo was up there and then he left, but then the real drama happened and I was just sitting in chat. He wanted me to have my camera on. I'm not turning my camera on, so I just sat in chat. And then, just like I've been telling Dusty for a long time, what they did to CT is CT knows people that have access to these Discord servers, and he tracked it all down with that these people purposely went on with Pepe or whatever, the frog, as a background. When CT contacted YouTube, they said that that was the reason he got struck. And then Dr. Chen, I think his name is, got up there, and he was the most obvious BS, terrible, terrible monster I've ever met. I can't wait to encounter him.
Oh man, you should have said something, because he was in my Discord and I booted him.
Yeah, he's not coming. You won't meet him on my channel.
Yeah, but if you looked at the back of his screen, on his background, it says the most dangerous troll on YouTube. Yet CT's sitting there humoring him for some reason.
Because
I guess for content, whatever. I don't know CT. I don't know CT. But the point is, you know, these people are channeling evil.
I'm intimately familiar with the situation.
How intimate?
I put my pee in it and then I pulled it out and left. Because it was gross. It was loose.
Pretty
They say there's no such thing as bad pussy, but they ain't never had that pussy. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you win this. You win this round.
But no, I say okay. So I'll just break it down. Aliens Anonymous is the Discord server that did all the trolling on CT. They wanted to reach out and use us to get access to other places because we were doing the whole lore thing. We saw through them. Kind of was like, no, we're not going to work with you, but we're going to use y'all to network. They got mad because we were networking, and that was kind of the agreement. So me, Gary, and Bumpkin left. While we were in there, we saw them gassing up 111 and everybody else involved and feeding information to 111. And we tried to tell CT, they wouldn't listen, and then all this fuck shit happened.
So do they have a specific vendetta against CT, or they just go around?
No, they're just trolls. They're just trolls. There's no, they are mostly Asian trolls, but then they also have just other people they mess with. They mess with Mike. They're really bad trolls, and I don't mean that as in like bad. They're bad at it. They're just bad people who like to troll, and they take it way too far. And they're the type of people that don't know when enough is enough, and they do it for entertainment.
That's why I told you the first day I met you. First day I met you, I told you don't let them get close, and I told you about the Discord people. You just got to be real careful.
Luckily, I don't trust anybody.
Good.
I just pretend to.
No, it's smart. It's just the way it had to be in this day.
Jack left us.
He probably had to use the washroom. I don't know.
Rude. All right, well, then I'll do some super chats. Rude cunt crab with $5 says, "You don't attract, you allow. Forgiveness isn't for everyone." I agree with that sentiment. I already read William Josephs. He says the best part is that Imperius doesn't know that he is a lol cow. I don't know how he doesn't know that. Chuck in Tennessee said, "I sacrificed my social security for Dusty." True, as you should, as everybody should on their fixed incomes. Lauren says, am I tripping, or does Tommy sound like Imperius? Tommy sounds better than Imperius, but there are similarities. Chuck says, love from your father. Chuck also says, for my illegitimate son. And thank you to all of you people. Oh, welcome back, Jack.
Hey, when I stepped away, I thought I heard something about distrust. And I think it was you. You said you don't trust anyone.
Damn it. I was hoping you didn't hear that part.
Well, trust.
This is hit. All right, let's do it. Let's get the struggle session over with.
Well, this idea of trust, I realize how it might seem, but distrust is not good. That's the case I want to present.
Okay. All right. I'm willing to
bad.
I'm willing to see your evidence.
Well, distrust, it's a sign of fear. It's a sign of an insecurity.
Jack, I blame you. I have Imperius DMing me now. I blame you.
What?
Yeah, Imperius is in my Discord DMs now. He keeps blowing my Discord DMs up now. You let him on.
Nice. I
I
enabled.
blame you.
Jack will allow anybody time at least like indefinitely.
Wait, was Imperius here?
Yes.
For a little
How
bit.
did I miss that shit?
You missed it. It was interesting. I don't know if he's ever been here before.
Was it interesting or was it just like it always is?
Well, I don't remember seeing him here before.
He's never been here before, but I haven't restreamed one of your streams in a long time. So, who do I distrust the least on YouTube? I mean, probably Katie doesn't count, huh? Who do I distrust the least? I mean, I distrust Chuck quite little. And
he's a shady little girl. But you got terrible judgment.
He is shady, but I understand his shadiness. Let me say this: I distrust his intentions very little. I distrust his judgment slightly more sometimes. Orthodox guy has gotten relatively undistrusted faster than most people, but you know, he's far from that.
All according to plan.
I distrust Lauren more after she sent me that setup of a question than before, but it's offset by the fact that she sent me money with it. So,
yeah.
Please don't leave me out. Tell me how much you distrust me.
I distrust 10th Man enough to not really be sure how to answer that one. I distrust. I undistrust 10th Man quite a bit. However, I some distrust his emotional stability.
Precisely. You're so smart. Because all my stuff's on record. Everybody knows who I am.
You're very well known. We're all aware of that. I mean, because you're well known, of course. That's self-explanatory.
Well known to be full of shit.
He's well known to be full of cock, but that's not the point.
Like OTW? Oh, yeah. I see Joe Cool down there. I undistrust him quite a bit.
Undistrust him?
Mm-hmm.
We're literally in the vampirism of trust at this point.
Chuck, or I'm sorry, Rude Mud Crab with $5 says Chuck can be trusted not because of his intentions, but you can trust the lack of ability. Shots fired.
Pew 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 pew.
You better fire a shot back, Chuck. Don't let him say that about you.
A $20 shot would be nice.
Right.
I swear to God, I was looking at a short the other day about a guy in the military. It's not that same old guy you guys have seen. It was a different one. It was like, I think, from World War I. And the guy looked like Chuck, but a younger version. That's why I brought that up last night, because he reminded me of him. So what happened with the show last night? How come we had to shut down? Was it just your board, or was it because of
I shut it down early
did the guy actually perish or something? Or?
No, and nothing is like this is all just sort of rumbles through. There was an ambulance or EMS, whoever, the authorities were called. And somebody fitting his description was admitted to a hospital. Now, I still believe so when I found out that I just ended it at a caution and put it behind the highest tier paywall, or not the highest, but the second highest. But I still am of the opinion that it was a prank or a hoax. And I think that he's probably on a psychiatric hold because, well, of the hoax.
Yeah.
Even faking something like that will get you on a 24-hour watch.
Especially if you faked it by jabbing yourself, right? So,
unfortunately,
you know what I mean? That's going to require some medical attention.
My former co-host, when they did it, nope. police just showed up and he said it was a gag for the internet, and they just said, "Okay, have a good day."
Was there an open wound?
He can hold it together. He looks more normal at first glance than Rat Blood does.
Was there an open wound?
I don't know. No. But it was a video with a blood pack and a revolver and stuff.
You talking about Bird?
Yes.
Oh yes, Dennison. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that's different.
Yeah, I don't know what happened exactly.
No, this dude cut him. He cut himself for real. It just wasn't.
It might have been fake blood. You never saw that.
It could. Yeah, it could have been fake blood.
Well, it's an interesting world we live in, and it can be tough. I don't know what's going on with that other story, but Axis is he's clearly been dealing with some stuff in his life.
Yeah, but at least he doesn't have nuts in his throat like OTW. And at least he's not an impotent karate kid like who's having a mental breakdown like Imperious. Dude, and at least he's not a scorned old cat lady like Lindsay. And at least he's not a junkie thief like Crispy.
I just I'm a scorned impotent karate cat man, and I take offense to that shit.
She's not a cat lady yet because she hasn't got cats, I don't think. But
I think she's a cat lady. She's more of a cock holster.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I gotta be honest.
Shots fired.
I like OTW as much as I like any of you people. You're just random people I talk to while I play Star Trek, right? So, but when I saw his picture for the first time, no, Star Trek Fleet Commander, it's mobile. When I saw him for the first time, I think was last night, a couple nights ago or whatever, I was like, oh my God, that dude's as old as me. I thought he was like 25 max. It's almost like it could, and I'm pretty good at judging. But he sounds like he's like a child at mind.
To, good. Dance class, and now I am going to a hockey game at 8:20. I'm waiting for it.
That sounds like a wonderful plan. Holy cows. Chuck in Tennessee, blessings and thank you, my friend. Well, Jack, thank Flo. His money tree just dried up.
My money tree just dry up.
I don't know. Apparently, Chuck has switched sides now, at least temporarily.
Yeah. That'll last.
Right. Well, predictability. Predictability. Life is crazy, guys. And people will drive you crazy if you let them. But then a lot of people, to keep from getting driven crazy, they drive themselves crazy by creating these walls of distrust. And then the distrust keeps blessings away from us. That was my experience for sure.
Do you know when Chuck does push-ups, he's not actually pushing himself up, but pushing the planet Earth away from himself?
I'd heard that about Chuck.
I can believe that. Looks like Andy took off. The topic. Sacrifice or selfishness?
Those are the only two options?
I think it is.
Fuck that shit. I quit.
Why? Just choose selfishness.
Okay, yeah. Well, that was me choosing selfishness.
That was. And see, selfishness.
I think Noel's doing a line off camera. I know what those straws are for.
I've been there before. I've seen this story. Wait, is that Coke?
Give
me.
No. Well,
Actually, better not be without sharing.
The idea of the spiritual teachings, the idea is to become the selfless, to be without the self, without the identity. And distrust is actually, it's a sign that we don't trust ourselves. That's what it was for me. I had to recognize my distrust of others was actually, I didn't trust myself to deal with whatever.
Oh, I trust myself to deal with things. And I do that by, part of the way I do that is by not giving somebody like, you know, Noel too much free unattended time came up on my platform.
I've seen that can be dangerous, but I'm holding trust. I'm holding trust that Noel will keep her respect with me. Why I hold that trust, I'm not sure. And that, I guess that swings us back into that topic, right?
You're a glutton for punishment, Jack.
Am I? I don't want to be. I don't want to be walked over, taken advantage of, and I have no problem walking away from people either.
No, honestly, you know what I think it is? I think that you want redemption, and you try to see the good in everyone else because it's what you want from the world. You want the world to give you the benefit of the doubt and see the best in you and not judge you for your worst.
That was deep. That's what she said.
It is true.
It goes deep. It goes so deep.
Neutral ground. Thank you very much for the contributions.
That reached the second hymen.
Hey, there is some truth to that. I've looked at myself, and I'm pretty honest, and I've wondered, is this part of the reason? And I think it is. I don't know what I don't know what I don't know. Any ideas that I felt worthy of pursuing on my own, I've kind of done so. But I'm stuck on this pattern that eventually, no matter where I go, it's going to require cooperation from another human being. So at some point, I'll be worthy. And that's what I've been trying to figure out, is how to be worthy. And with that, what I've really been seeking is a second chance, right? From my old friends, from my neighbors, from the folks from the past. And I think that is why I'm doing that so much with others. Because I'm offering what I hope to receive. These are the laws. What's that?
I just said, do unto others.
These words are so true. I mean, I cannot explain my results. I mean, I can't explain my results, and I'm completely responsible for everything that's happened, every choice I've made. But there are laws to this life. There's laws of creation, laws of energy. There's the laws in physics. There's the laws of chemical reactions and energetic reactions. And the same thing, there's laws of our mind. There's laws of the thought and consciousness. In this reality, it is a one. It's a singular universe. It's a singular experience being shared through multiple perspectives. So all of us, we're just this moment. All of the past moments brought us to this moment, and this is the moment that matters. And it's always this moment. Sorry, I took myself off where I was going again, I think. Oh, the universal expression. There is one experience that we are all a part of. And so that's why the law is do unto others as you would have done for you. Because we are one experience. We're reflecting off of each other, projecting onto each other. And if we reflect truth and we reflect with compassion, then the words can be understood. That ties us back to that earlier conversation about being able to communicate with each other. What we give in this world, truly, I've learned this from so many different ways, but particularly in the field of self-development, it's commonly taught, and it's true. What you want in life, you must give away. You must be willing to sacrifice to discover who you are. You must be willing to sacrifice your old identity, your old ways. You must be willing to change. This life we're living in, it is, I tell you, now that I've started using my mind for things different than I did in the past. I used to use my mind in the past focusing on problems and, you know, keeping myself safe, protecting me and my loved ones. Now, constantly through the day, praise God. God is so glorious. Life, this gift of life, there's so many variables involved in every single day, every single thought. There's so many variables involved. It can get complicated and confusing. But the message from Jesus, the gospel truly is, repent, give yourself away. Be willing to die for the world, for greater good. How about that?
No, thanks.
No?
No, that was a lot. I'm up here to be nice to you this time, but I'm just going to say no.
But why not? Why would no? Why would no be the answer? When the options are live with the worldly ideas and live like the neighbors with fear and locking the doors and stocking up the guns, live like that, or live with faith. We were talking earlier about Jesus being the first Son of God. And in his Sermon on the Mount, you know, the peacemakers, they are the children of God. And that's who we are. I don't think people really, well, some people do like to fight. There's no denying that. But a world filled with conscious human beings who were not consumed by their fears, they weren't consumed by their debts, where they went to a job where they found fulfillment. You know, they discovered that they enjoy what they're doing, and they enjoy what they're doing because their mind's not cluttered with fears and they're not overwhelmed with debts. People would be more cheerful. And as people are more cheerful, I think we'd have a snowball effect. That's another aspect of this creation. That which has been given life will grow. And where we give our attention, we give life. So when we give our fears and our problems our attention, those grow through time, right? We spend more time with our fear, more time with our problems. They grow in our experience. The same thing works with love, man. Same thing works with gratitude. I have found a path for myself where I'm truly grateful. Grateful for nothing. Because sometimes nothing is better off than what's available.
Yeah, but you can be grateful for blah, 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 all that, and also still be discerning.
Yes. Yes, thank you. I'm not promoting that false positivity where you just pretend like everything's perfect and you don't accept that. No, there's problems. There's shit to do.
Okay, but like a person who was going to be stockpiling things, doesn't just mean that they're doing it to like rise up or anything like that. You know, I don't know if you how much you pay attention to like stuff, but they say that if the power went off because of an EMP or something right now, all across the world, within the first, I think it was 21 days, approximately half of the world's population will perish within 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be ready.
I agree. One of the best ways to be ready, in my opinion, is through community, because we're much more prepared when we combine efforts, combine minds, and when we do have a strategy and when we've got a game plan. But 10th man, once I started learning about more things in the world and realizing things like that, that how fragile the power grid actually is, and what would be the consequences should something happen catastrophic, we can overcome a lot of the fears and anxiety if we change how we live together before the disasters hit.
Have you seen the movie? And I'm not trying to be doomsday, I'm just trying to have a conversation, right? Have you seen the movie Civil War? It came out like a year and a half ago.
No.
Okay, so one of the most prolific clips out of the whole movie is the kind of albino looking guy from Breaking Bad.
What kind of American are you?
Doll? Yeah, he says, what kind of American are you? Right, so I get what you're saying. I really do. But that's not real life. It's just not. We are living in a time of convenience and plenty. As soon as things go a little bit sideways, it's all going to fall apart. So community is not going to be relevant, right? And it's just, you got to do you. Don't worry about everybody else.
That's
take care of you.
That's untrue.
You can't take care of others unless you take care of yourself.
That's part of the conversation we had earlier today, and that's untrue from my experience and based on the facts. There's a partial truth to that can't be denied, right? You got to put the oxygen mask on your face first before you help others. There's something to that, but it's not an excuse. And the reality is we're not designed to be rugged and independent and everyone on their own. We can do that. And if myself, I know I'm perfectly capable of that because of how I was raised. I was raised in the woods and in the mountains. I know how to survive without society. But I choose to. And I believe we're designed for this, because the more I looked at my life, everything we have, even if you want to go do stuff on your own, I don't know how to mine minerals. I don't know how to refine metals. I don't know how to create wires and cables. I don't know how to turn fibers into ropes. I mean, if you're going to do it on your own, that's one thing. But people today, they purchase a lot and then they do a lot on their own. But I think it makes it harder, because if we work together, truly, if we work together, that's how we're best prepared. But people have to be honest. And when people aren't honest with each other, that's why we have a world of distrust. And since there's so much distrust, there's a lot of fear. And since people are afraid and they don't trust themselves, they don't trust their neighbor, they give all their power to some fictional authority that they've never met. And we have broken systems these systems of America, the political systems, economic systems, the corporate systems, they're, I would say they're working as designed, and yet there's some substantial flaws in the systems. And the flaws in the systems have created a society that profits from trauma, exploitation, and extortion. This is what gives wealth power. Poverty gives wealth power. So how do you get more powerful people? You build more poverty. I think it's been happening. The homeless crisis in America, the wealth, the transfer of wealth that has been happening over the past several years in our lifetime, it's historical. And I don't want to go down in history as just going along to get along. That's, I didn't have that choice anymore.
I think it's going to end in war. There's no changing the minds of the people in charge.
How do we know?
How do we know? It's worth trying. I'm not saying this to discourage you. You should try. Like, you're doing the right thing. But I just don't think it's going to end in, it's either going to end in human slavery of some sort or war or both. But it's,
we have that now.
It's only going that direction.
Andy, we have that now. And this is what I realized for myself too. I started this idea a long time ago and I showed myself, but the question is, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose by trying to do more? Well, I found out. I lost my career, my family, my reputation.
Fuck all those things, though. They're not important.
That's
right.
Right.
Well, okay, no, that's not true. Your reputation is not important. I was quite happy to have lost mine now.
Yeah.
What is that quote? It's not until we've lost everything that we're truly free.
That was that is me, truly. I cried and I yelled a lot when everything was changing, but I found my freedom. And now I am all in. I'm
I bet
committed.
you're an ugly crier.
I am an ugly crier.
Jack, where's your cat?
She is
Panda Express.
Hiding. She's hiding. She's I don't know. Life is amazing. But you know what? We're coming up on 2.5 hours. I should probably start wrapping this up.
That was quick.
All right.
I've been doing longer streams. Thank you.
You've been starting earlier too, which sort of function. Do you want something? Hold on.
I have been starting earlier too.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go live here. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking.
I may swing by and see you later if you are.
All right. Hold on to hold it. Don't end this too quickly, so I can redirect my people at least over mine.
Oh yeah, I'll get my Go ahead and get it set up, and I'll try and get mine redirected too. So Noelle, you said you're going to a game later. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Or movie? And what hockey?
Adult hockey.
Nice. Is it a local team or are these the pros?
No. It's a league that
Are you playing?
No, of course not.
Why not?
Cause
I could see you playing hockey. You're pretty fit, athletic. And I bet you'd be a bruiser out on the ice too. We got First Zero. Greetings.
Yes, hello.
Greetings. How are you?
I simply exist.
All right. Well, welcome to the experience. It's been something wonderful today, I feel. But I was actually just getting ready to start wrapping up.
That is completely expected, as well as my statement before I jumped on here.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
The wrapping up part was completely expected, just as my statement before I jumped on here about the difference between insanity and science.
Please explain that other statement before you joined, the insanity and science. What was that?
Doing a repeated action expecting a different result is insanity. Yet doing a repeated action knowing the result, that's purely science.
Your voice sounds familiar in a weird way. Have you been here before?
I've been around the past 2 weeks, Flo. That's how come we have not directly ran into each other, Mr. Flow State, but yes, this is why.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
So you got another account or something you use?
You're used to this symbol from me, and I chose to respect the live by not presenting it initially.
Jack doesn't really give a shit about avatars.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Anyways,
why do I feel like you're already mad at Flo?
I feel like that too.
No, this is just my demeanor and the gravity around my existence.
The gravity around your existence? All right. Well, it was good to see you again, I guess. Salutes to the panel. Salutes to the chat. I'm alive. And
much love. Peace and blessings. I appreciate you joining. And we'll probably go over and join him. Once
Ain't that right, Cheeks?
What's his channel?
The Powdered Dusty. Here.
Oh, okay.
So
that is exactly right. That is exactly right, Jeeps. Rather be a knower than a believer, because I prefer being a knower as I am instead of simply believing in something that I cannot prove nor refute.
I believe I don't know shit.
Oh, we're all running up the mountain of Dunning-Kruger Valley. Just some of us are farther along.
I'm quite comfortable where I am.
Yeah, me
Truth
too.
does fill off the skin of comfort.
The foreskin.
I guess I should say I'm at peace.
The very thought of peace does provoke war.
Only in the foolish.
So we're speaking of humans now.
Bro, you're trolling. There's no way.
That's the whole difference. I cannot be put into boxes of understanding that you choose to put me within.
That was like two Jedi getting in an argument.
No, this is just boring. This is that intellectual masturbation I was talking about.
Yes, boredom.
Anyway, I do appreciate it, and I don't mean to be rude. I appreciate you joining Curse Zero. Maybe we can have some good conversations in the future, but I think it's time to wrap it up. Final word?
I don't like clashing blades.
All right. Thank you for that. Blessings to you. How about Andy? Yes.
Peace and love and respect to everybody. I hope everybody is healthy and prospering. I'll see you over at the Powdered Dusty if you guys go over there. Take care.
Hey, much love. Appreciate you, my friend. Noel? Anything on your way out? All right. I'm going to drop you out, Noel, and we're going to start shutting her down. Thank you for popping in. How about Orthodox or Denizen?
Yeah, I have a personal message. The person that it's meant to will understand it. Instead of messaging me and bitching out, stand on your convictions. Don't say things that you don't mean, and then when someone doubles down on their faith, try to legalize your way out of it. Stand on your convictions. Meet me.
Respect. Thank you, Orthodox guy. It's been a pleasure. Denizen, what are your thoughts, my friend?
Where are we going to Dusty's now?
Yeah, I'm gonna forward the stream over. I'm gonna do some
going
final
up on
words
panel?
myself. I probably will. I may grab some food first, some nourishment.
I'll see you over there.
All right. Blessings to you. Sincerely, to all who clicked the link, all who tuned in, you were a part of this with the numbers and the comments and participants. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who was a part of today. I felt we had some pretty good conversations. We ran a little bit longer, but in the beginning, I honestly didn't think I was going to do this today, to be honest, because I was feeling in my feelers and I didn't have a lot of ideas and I was absent motivation. But brothers and sisters, again today, what I experienced is a lesson I've seen over and over. We don't always know what is the right thing to do, but we know what our options are. And if you can look at your options with an honest heart and an open mind and clear intentions of what you want from those options, even if you don't feel like you're going to succeed, even if you don't feel like you want to do it, if it feels like it's the right thing to do, which I felt doing the live stream today, I felt it was. If you've got something that's the right thing for you to do, take that step. Take the first step. Get yourself started. There's power in inertia. There's laws to this creation, to this experience that we're sharing. And the laws of inertia, they work with our energies as well. You get your body moving, doing some exercise, doing some stretching. You get your body moving, working on a project, or just get a few minutes going and you'll see the effort start to build. That's what I felt again today. I feel good. Brothers and sisters, I hope you feel some joy, some of the goodness that I feel, because it's my goal and my hope to share. I'm going to wrap it up here. I did set this up. We're going to redirect the viewers over into the Powder Dusty live stream, and we'll see what the future brings from here. Once again, till next time, thank you. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.